Alright. Hello YouTube, hello Facebook. Welcome to the Illusionary Arts. Today I have a really good deck profile for you today. I'm doing my Yang-Zing-Metalphoes deck. I thought it'd be really appropriate to do it since Invasion of Vengeance just came out. That set was really awesome and we got some really nice support in the set. The counter trap is really nice and the new synchro is really cool too. It just helps with consistency and keeping your boards and making it really hard for your opponent just to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm not going to talk about the deck much more, I'm just going to get straight into it. So for the monsters, for the Yang-Zing monsters, it's almost pretty standard. It's a little bit different than standard, but you're still playing your 3 copies of Jiao-Tu. Jiao-Tu is your main playmaker of the deck. His cost effect, his special 2 is really nice. Fills up your grave for Yang-Zing Path. If this gets Veilered, you lose. If they stop Jiao-Tu, you lose. It's very rare that you'll be able to turn the game after failing a major Jiao-Tu play. But playing 3 is just absolutely necessary. You want to see him as soon as possible. And he's just also nice to loop out of the grave because he's your level 2 tuner. And you're playing, which is also standard, 3 copies of Chi-Wen. Chi-Wen is just really nice. He loops out of the grave too, which is pretty cool. When another Yang-Zing monster would be destroyed, he special summons himself, but he's banished during the end phase. He's really nice for just synchro climbing, and also his stats are 0/0, so you can float him with any Yang-Zing that would happen to die, which is pretty nice. Playing 3 copies of Suwani. That's standard-ish. I've seen a lot of people play 2. I like him at 3. He's really good as a Yang-Zing target for Jiao-Tu. Also, he's pretty beefy with 1900 attack points. He's level 4, so making it super easy for you to make 6s and to make 8s with. Pretty nifty. Playing, again, standard. Your standard 3 Beyond. Beyond is really important. His effect that he gives to the Yang-Zings, to any synchro monster is just really nice to keep making them immune to battle. Also, again, he's pretty beefy and his level's high, so that's nice too. For your other monsters, for the not so standard Yang-Zing monsters, I'm playing 1 Pulao and 1 Bixie. I don't think that 2 Bixie is important. Bixie usually comes up dead because he has a really awkward level at 2, not being a tuner. The only time that he's really nice and not being used as the tuner is when you're trying to make Trish or you're trying to go for a Synchro 10 or something, and Pulao is a nice level 1. Pulao is also really good for making the Cho Fang and really hitting Magic Specters with because of his element. So his attributes are just really nice. The wind, it hits Magic Specters when you're using Cho Fang. Playing 2 Zafranu. I've seen a lot of people play this guy at 3. He honestly just bricks at 3. You don't need more than 3 now that the counter trap's out. He does his basic job is just searching out and making Baxia pretty easy and quickly with Jiao-Tu off of Jiao-Tu play. But other than those 2 reasons, there's no other reason to play him. He loops out of grave. He loops out of deck. He floats out of the deck. He doesn't float another Yang-Zing synchro. So playing him at 3 is just really bricky. 2 is good. And then for the Metalphoes, I play 9 Metalphoes. I'm playing 3 Stalin, 3 Silverbird, 1 Gold Driver, and 1 Volflame. They're all pretty, they're nice. I mean, everyone knows what Metalphoes do. There's no need to explain what they do. But, I'm playing the 1 Volflame and the 1 Gold Driver because sometimes I open with too many Yang-Zings and not enough Metalphoes. I've also found it, that playing 9 is a pretty even ratio, and playing, these are the more important ones because you can make synchro plays with them, and these 2 are Volflame and Gold Driver. They're just pretty nifty because they're pretty big attackers, and on top of that they have the scales of 1 to 8, which is really nice. But playing 9 Metalphoes. Onto the spells, playing 2 Yang-Zing Path. Yang-Zing Path at 2 is nice. I don't really want to see this card too much because more often than not it's brick. Sometimes I like to set up with Void Ogre a lot, so having cards in my hand isn't always necessary, but this is really good late game when you're trying to recycle your plays, or if you run out of Baxia, you can recycle your Baxia, which is nice. Just also the draw 2 effect is really nice when you're drawing into things that you might need. Play 2 Painful Decision.
Painful Decision is absolutely necessary. This is probably one of like the best cards in the deck, honestly. Painful Decision helps you get to your metalfoes by sending a normal monster to your grave. You can add one copy of that card from your deck to your hand. It's pretty nice. It adds to consistency, and even later in the game, it just helps with deck thinning. Also, sometimes you want to use the pendulums for synchros too, which is pretty nice. Playing one Metalfoe Fusion. Metalfoe Fusion's nice because of it's an infinite cost for your Metalfoe scales. Being able to pop it and shuffling back in the deck to pop and set it again is really nice. Just Metalfoe's engine, it really needs it. Playing 2 MST instead of Storm or Twin Twister or Double Cycle. MST does the job just fine. Twin Twister sucks because I have to discard for cost. I don't like Storm because I'm hitting my own scales and sometimes I'm hitting my own back row. And I don't like Double Cyclone because I have to pop a set that I have to pop a set the opponent has. MST does the job just fine. If I need to get rid of back row, I can do that. This deck is pretty good when it comes to back row. And if I need to get rid of, if I need to make a play, restrict your Metalfoe off combination, MST just does fine for that too. There's no need for Twin Twister. There's no need for Storm. This deck does just fine. And one Soul Charge, because you resolve Soul Charge in the game, you win. This is really nice. This is good early game, late game, whatever. Like, it's just a really nice staple to draw into. Onto the traps. Playing 3 of the new Yang-Zing counter trap. This is basically your searchable Solemn Strike plus a spin into the deck, which is really nice. This card is just absolutely clutch. You pop a Yang-Zing card you control to negate an effect that your opponent uses and shuffle that card back into the deck instead of destroying it. So basically, they don't get the advantage of that card being engraved. It's pretty nice when you're hitting the Buster Dragon because he can't tag out because it's a counter trap. It doesn't go into the grave to be used later for cost or something like that. It's really nice. This card is honestly the best card in the deck. It's super clutch. 3 of max out on that card. Playing 3 Metalfoes combination, but I'm debating bumping this down to 2. I would replace the 3rd Metalfoes combination with a Yang-Zing creation just because it makes plays and combo with 9 paths of the Yang-Zing. Because once you resolve 9 paths, what you could do is you could go 9 paths and then special summon your monster, and then creation, special summon the second monster, and then quick synchro during your opponent's turn for something like a Black Rose or a Metaphys Horus or something pretty nifty. I've had that opportunity to make those plays, but because since I don't play creation, I wasn't able to. But either way, if you decide to play 2 Metalfoes combination or 3, it still works out just fine. This card is just absolutely necessary to play. You have to play it too, just for the engine for the Metalfoes. And then for the last 2 cards in the deck, 1 Solemn Warning and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. You want to stop your opponent from doing things. Once you have a board established, you want to keep it that way. Vanity's Emptiness doesn't really hurt you at all because you can always out it with your own scales, with your Metalfoe scales. And also, just when you have just vanities and you have a pretty good board, your opponent just kind of has to cry because then they can't special summon on top of all the negations that you build up over time. Onto the extra deck. The extra deck's kind of unique. I like to think it's kind of unique. I want to play Crystal Wing. I don't have a Crystal Wing. I'll tell you what I'm going to sub off for Crystal Wing after the video. After I finish the extra deck when I get to it. Play 3 of Axia. A lot of people play 2. I think 3 is nice because I end up going into Hope Harbinger and then just wishing I had another Baxia, so I think 3 is just a really good number. Also, just maxing out the spins. You have infinite amounts of spins. Also, soul charging him is pretty nice. It helps make your combo plays and he sets up your board. So 3 Baxia. Super easy to make in the deck too. Playing 2 of the new guy, Denglong, fucking broke. This card is absolutely the nuts. The ability to search when it's summoned, its ability to float a Yang-Zing not after it dies, but after it's sent to the graveyard, and just the ability to change its level is really awesome. This card is really awesome when you're trying to make things like Crystal Wing or Nirvana the High Paladin, because its level changes and it's a tuner synchro monster. So it's really, really, really nice to make plays with this guy. I think you could get away with playing it at 1, but I'm playing it at 2 just because like I want to see this card a lot. It's easy for me to make Baxi if I don't have a Jiaotu in my hand. As long as I have a Scales Suwani and maybe any other Yang-Zing that's not Pulao, he's basically free. I just like him. I think playing 2 is pretty much necessary. Not necessary, but it just helps to have it. One Chofang, skill drain. Basically, he just negates everything. Like you make different Yang-Zing monster. Every Yang-Zing monster with a different element is a negation for your opponent. So if you synchro with fire, water, and light, your opponent is unable to use the effects of fire, water, and light types in their hands, in their graveyards, and on the field. It just basically just stops your opponent's plays. And if you're playing against the right deck, that comes in clutch. Like hitting VA is really easy with this deck because you'll end up making it with Suwani, Jiaotu, and Suwani, Jiaotu, and a Bayan. So it's pretty nice. Also, it's also nice because when he destroys a monster, you can search a tuner, which is pretty cool. So basically, he keeps your plays going while you have those negations on board. He's a pretty good built-in floodgate for the deck. Playing 1 Herald of the Arclight because negate things, and he's basically macro for your opponent. Anything sent from the hand or the deck to the graveyard is banished instead, so it stops VA. It stops a lot of blue eyes cost plays. It's pretty nice, and just being able to tribute to negate things is amazing. And with Baxia's effect, you're able to pop a card you control to re-special summon this card from grave because it's a level 4 or lower, which is really nice. He's also really cool to make plays with Nirvana and with Crystal Wing because he's a synchro monster with a low level. This is the card that I would have traded away for Crystal Wing, is Coral Dragon. I was playing Coral Dragon. I don't make Coral Dragon a lot. I find myself wishing that this was, all the time just wishing that this was a Crystal Wing. It's nice if you don't have a Crystal Wing because it's a junior synchro monster. And on top of that, when it leaves the field, you get a draw. And he pops too. I would play this over Stardust Charge Warrior any day just because he has better stats and he's a tuner. So he's not dead while he's on board, and it's pretty easy to get the draws with him. Playing as for other 8s, I'm playing Scarlight, Void Ogre, Crimson Blader. This is really nice. Scarlight's nice for his burn effect, and he's synchro 8. Making synchro 8 is really easy with Jiaotu. Your pendulum summon your Zafranu, and then just normal summon your Jiaotu. It's free 8. And also a lot of times this is like a built-in cowboy for my deck because I'll pendulum summon a whole bunch, do a whole bunch of shenanigans, and then I'll just burn for 500. 500 usually times 5, or 4. So that's pretty nice. That's like a free 20k, 20k defense, burn damage. Playing the Void Ogre, he's easy to make in the deck too. He's another negation, which is really awesome. And I'm playing the Crimson Blader to stop my opponents from making plays. This is really clutch in Blue Eyes, because you can make him bigger with Suwani. You can make him bigger than a Blue Eyes Dragon with Suwani. It's also really nice if you're playing against ADCs because you can just whack. If you can stop them from tagging out, which is really nice, you can force them to tag out, use your tag out effect, and then bait them with the counter trap, spin it back into their deck, or you can just knock out something else and just keep them from playing their level 5 or the higher. So Crimson Blade is pretty nice. Playing 1 Trish. Trish is important. Trish is nice. Trish is good. Playing obviously the 1 metalfoes. I'm gonna butcher this name, or recalc. Just the double piercing. I would debate. I'm debating on trading this for Alkaheist because Alkaheist is nice. 1 Nirvana Eye Paladin because he's a big guy. He's pretty. When you can make him, it comes in handy. Just having your opponent's life points is really nice, and his pendulum effect is pretty good too. And then I'm gonna be playing 1 Hope Harbinger Titanic Galaxy. Just because it's really nice to make a board that locks, just stopping your opponent from getting you is always nice, and you make a lot of 8s in this deck, so he's pretty easy to make. Now onto the side deck, and I have a couple cool techs in here for the side deck. I'm playing 2 Gamisio. He's your out to a lot of cards. Gamisio's just nice. I'm thinking about playing Kamungus, the Sticky String Kaiju, because he's a 7 and I can pendulum summon it. but I don't have that card right now, and I just kind of like the fact that Denisio is a 2200 V stick. So that's pretty nice. I'm playing 2 Dark Hole. Just because Mass Destruction, if you're playing something and you're getting overwhelmed, sliding into this card sometimes is pretty cool. This is an interesting tech card that I have. Earth Shattering Event is pretty nice. I side this just for BAs because whenever they would send something to the grave, I shuffle something back, so it stops their plays, and it's really hard for them to play around this card. And it doesn't really hurt you because if you're sending things. If you're sending things with Jiaotu, you really don't care because that's your cost, you know, and you still get the effect, and then you're shuffling your Yang-Zings back into your deck, so it's pretty nice. It's just Floodgate, doesn't hurt you at all. It's really nice to play, and it's also really nice against Infernoids too, you know, getting rid of their fuel for their plays. Playing 2 Royal Decree for Paleozoics. It doesn't stop Paleozoics, but it slows them down to the point where you're able to make your plays. Because I'm not playing 2 Bixie in the deck, I feel like Royal Decree is kind of a nice side deck card. Playing probably the best Floodgate in the entire deck, without a doubt, is Andy Band played on. This card is really wacky because neither player can special summon monsters with the same rank/level of those they already control. So it stops your opponent from making any kinds of Xyz plays. That's really nice when you're playing against EBCs because it becomes difficult for them to make the Dragon Buster. It's also really nice against BA or Blue Eyes just because they won't be able to make their Xyz plays. It's just a really good card, and the art is pretty derpy, and I like that too. Playing 2 Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall is awesome because it doesn't hurt you in the deck, and it makes your Jiaotu, it makes your Chi-1 live forever. Basically, when it comes back from the grave and it dies, it goes back to the grave. It can't banish itself after it leaves the field. So you get to keep recycling your Chi-1, which is pretty broke. And for the final 2 cards, side deck, I'm playing 2 Rivalry of the Warlords because you don't necessarily need to play your other monsters in your synchro in your extra deck to win. It stops a lot of players. Not everybody's playing just one type of monster in the deck. There's a lot of crazy things out there, and Rivalry of the Warlords just helps as an awesome clutch card. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Any suggestions, anything you'd want to put in. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe.